All right, if you are just tuning in right now, this is UNAM Radio. It's right about rush hour right now. So if you are in a cab, you are in your car driving home, just dial the volume up because we are about to start a very exciting segment here. Joined in the studio right now by Fanuel Shinedima. Fanuel, how is it, man?
Good, man. How's it?
Awesome. Nice to have you, Fanuel.
Yeah.
So we are here to discuss youth in energy. And Fanuel Shinedima here is the co-founder of the Namibian Youth Energy Forum. Am I right?
Yeah, that's right.
Can you just tell us a little bit about the Youth Forum? What is it all about? What is the core vision behind it?
All right. Yeah, thank you for that. So the Namibian Youth Energy Forum is a platform for young people where we try to sort of like empower and encourage youth participation in the energy sector, looking of course at the renewable energy space and as well as the oil and gas sector. So we have a wide variety of programs that we offer at the forum aimed at empowering young people. So we talk about entrepreneurship, for example, where we try to sort of like support young people who have businesses within the sector, try to get them the necessary support in order to ensure that they benefit. So we also look at other programs like CareerWise, for example, where we try to collaborate with various other private stakeholders and organizations to sort of try and support, provide the necessary support to young people in terms of job opportunities and study opportunities and that. Then we also work through capacity building platforms where we try to hold various workshops aimed at engaging young people, just to hear their matters on policies, for example, whole frameworks and all that. So we're quite diverse in terms of what we do, and our vision is to have empowered young people who have an active voice in the industry, who are able to also benefit from all the opportunities that come with this sector. Wow,
there you have it, a comprehensive outlook of the Namibia Youth Energy Forum. I was reading somewhere like earlier today says young people need to be, to partake in this energy thing because they bring in a different, level of innovation.
Yeah.
And what we have here with the Namibia Youth Energy Forum, this is the innovation that we have. But it's also a platform to really get young Namibians to be energy literate.
Yeah.
I think energy literacy is something that is really lacking maybe in the SADC region and in Africa at large. And it's really something that we need to look forward to. So is the Energy Forum looking at maybe enhancing or extending energy literacy amongst because I was going through the energy policy of the country and I don't see anything that really calls for energy policy. Maybe I missed it, but I didn't see it. So what is...
Yeah, so that is also one of the gaps that we try to bridge, looking at access to information, for example. And an example of that is our upcoming workshop that we are hosting on the 29th of June at NAMCO, where we focus on decoding Namibia's local content policy. So what we're trying to do is just break it down and make it easier for young people to understand what is happening in the sector, how can they benefit and be part of the value chain within the sector. So those are some of the initiatives that we try to work on, and then we will also be looking at other existing policies, for example. So what we try to do now is we are working towards branching out to the rest of the country. So we've been having most of our in-person workshops here in Windhoek, and then we've been having virtual, but now we're considering going to other towns. We've just gotten few partnerships that would enable us to go as far as the coast, go as far as the northern side, as well as the southern side, just to engage young people within these communities to sort of like give them access to the information and the knowledge that they need when it comes to energy, and also to provide them with a platform to kickstart their own journeys in the sector, because this is one of the biggest booming sectors in Namibia, and we believe that if young people are included in the discussion in everything that happens, then we are able to have a community of responsible young people who are also able to solve their own community problems and challenges, looking at things like energy injustices and energy poverty, for example. Those are the kind of kind of initiatives that we want to push for.
Wow, exactly. I think I'm one of those people who first started noticing the Namibia Youth Energy Forum on social media when it started, kind of erupting or growing. And I would say that the growth was, especially on social media, it was like swift.
Yeah, definitely.
It means people are really interested, especially young people are really interested in this conversation around energy. So the Namibia Youth Forum, who is welcomed to join, and on what are the terms and conditions, or what are the procedures of joining?
All right, cool. So the platform is open to all young people across Namibia. Membership is open to every young person that has an interest. So all you have to do is just send us an email, and then we'll respond asking for all the necessary information that we would need. So what happens is we have quite a lot of programs that we offer at the forum. So if you are, for example, interested in the business side of things, like the entrepreneurship space, then you'll just be there. And then when those opportunities come up, you get to be involved. We look at career, for example, where we're working with, for example, university students, as well as recent graduates, trying to upskill them and link them to the job opportunity market. So currently working with few partners, recruitment agencies who are working on us in sort of like creating a database for young people who need access to jobs, for example. So that is also one of the benefits that we offer to our members. And right now, this is only limited to our members because it's a pilot project. We see how it goes. Then we are also working towards sourcing funds to support young people with studies, for example, financial aid, in order to ensure that they're able to get the necessary trainings that they need in order to be employable within the job market. So it's quite diverse in terms of what we offer. That's why we always state that we are open to any young person that has an interest or want to learn more about energy or want to kickstart the journeys within the sector.
Wow. That is, I love where this is heading to. I love where this is headed. This is definitely what we needed, especially at a time where Namibia's energy is taking a drastic turn. With the recent discovery of green hydrogen, with the discovery of oil. But you say the Energy Forum is focusing more on sustainable energy, right?
Yeah.
But now we have this sort of contradiction happening between a boom in green hydrogen and a boom in oil. How does the two coexist?
Yeah, for us, that is quite simple. We use what we call or we advocate for what we call a balanced mix approach. Because if you look at the socio-economic dynamics of Namibia, for example, we have high unemployment rates, we have underdeveloped communities, like poverty is on a high, and then yet we also don't have, for example, reliable energy system for the country, right?
True.
Yet we have these different resources being discovered within our countries. We believe that we need to sustainably utilize these resources to ensure that we are able to develop our economy, to develop our country, to address all these challenges, because we believe that through the utilization of these resources is one of the only ways that we can actually address high unemployment, for example, youth unemployment, for example, and all that. And I do understand there is a global call for decarbonization, for example. We need to work on that and to go towards the just transition. But what we need to understand is that Namibia is not at that stage compared to the European countries, for example, because if you go in the villages somewhere in the north and there you tell people to transition, what are they transitioning from? What is there? Exactly. So that is what we try to advocate for and say that we are working with a balanced mix approach. If we have hydrogen, for example, on the side, let us step into that and utilize all the benefits that we can get from that. If we have oil being discovered, let us sustainably use that to ensure that it benefits our country and to also ensure that we are economically developed. Because if you look at this, most of the countries now calling for just transition, countries that benefited from oil and gas, they brought them to this well-developed nations, first world countries. So how about they give us a chance as Namibians to also utilize our own resources to get us developed to a stage where we are able to now move towards the transitioning towards clean energy, for example, renewable energy. So that is our approach to that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, comprehensive. I like that you mentioned tackling unemployment. Of course, if we can have young people, come in here and, search for job opportunities and have young people really infiltrating these new markets, I think that's the way to go.
Definitely.
In terms of green energy, talking about green hydrogen and, green hydrogen production, these are high skill industries.
Yeah.
And we don't have that skill. So is the Youth Forum looking at partnering perhaps with some vocational training or vocational training institutions, or are we seeing vocational training institutions maybe being built in the future to kind of accommodate these new skills that are needed? Because I'm already aware that universities like the University of Namibia and NAST are already starting to accommodate, such skills in their curriculums.
Yeah, that is what we're currently working on, and we're currently in talks with two, one is a technical college and a vocational training institute here in Namibia. So we're currently in talks with them with the hopes of coming up with some of these courses. So it's something that we are hopeful for, that we are going to be able to have our own local institutions offering the industry required courses or skills to our young people here in the country. Because if you look at the current industry requirements, for example, for some of these sectors, they require skills that are not offered by local institutions. So most of these people that you find working in these sectors is either they went outside for some training or for some to further the qualifications in order to get that necessary skills, which broadens the gap, because this is only accessible to those that can afford. So we want to ensure that our own local institutions are able to accommodate our local young people. For example, the school dropouts, for example, can go to these vocational institutions, as well as those that want to tap into this. So we want those courses to be offered, and currently at the forum we are working on that with two institutions. So we will be supporting them, and we'll try and come up with some sort of like courses that they can offer in order to ensure that we're able to cater to that. And then we also are partnering with an overseas private sector partner who will be taking some of young people from the country to go train them that side, and then they come back and get employment here. So those are some of the key initiatives that we currently are working on when it comes to upskilling.
Wow. You might think that the green hydrogen that's fueling up right now in the country is big, but this is bigger, guys. This is definitely bigger, and I hope you are listening and watching and taking note on how you can benefit from this. Okay, let's dial it back a bit. I think now we have like an overview of what green hydrogen, of what the Namibian Youth Energy Forum is all about. Let's talk about the forum's stance on the current agreements, like in terms of Namibia's benefits, let me say, from oil. What is your stance on that? Because it's, as things stand, we are standing at 10% ownership right now in our oil discoveries. Is this going in line with the constitution, which states that all resources must benefit Namibians to the fullest?
Yeah, in terms of our forum's stance on that, I think we don't have a side. What we are advocating for is for the government to ensure that whatever agreement comes up, whatever deals we go into, Namibian people should be at heart, but we are yet to see for most of these industries, for example, we are yet to see and understand, because it's very hard to decide on something. For example, if you look at the resources that we currently have within our country, for example, the oil and gas that's being discovered, it requires a lot of resources like funds in order to extract it and get it to production and all that. Hence why we of course need to have in these private partners. But then the negotiations that I am unable to comment, because I do not know, the cost analysis benefit, for example, how much the cost, how much the benefit coming out, but we are yet to see. But our only call is to ensure that at the end of the day, these resources should benefit Namibia as a whole. It should benefit our country. It should make sure that there's enough development coming out of it, employment opportunities and all that. So that is only what we are hopeful for. So we are yet to see the outcomes of all these agreements. Some of them we've seen, some of them we haven't seen yet. So we are yet to see what is going on there.
Yeah. In Namibia's energy policy, which was released in 2017, biomass is stated as one of the biggest sources of energy. This means the usage of firewood, and other products. Now, we know how this can be also toxic to the environment, but how it's also like readily available and not costly. But we also see the need to transition, to where to a level where we are getting these societies or communities connected to the grid. So what is your stance on that? What is the best way moving forward? Is it possible to just like instantly transition to green energy for these communities who are still reliant on biomass, or what is an alternative?
Yeah, I think for Namibia, transition is not going to happen in one day. It's going to take a process for us to actually get there. And the biggest question is, within that process, how are we going to keep people surviving? How are we going to keep people living? There needs to be some way of surviving,
True.
And that is why I believe that right now, while we have these resources that we are using, it's best that we have a clear roadmap to say that, okay, cool, for the next period of how many years, we are going to work towards a transitioning phase where we are going to phase out all the fossils, for example, to transition towards clean energy, and then come up with a plan to sort of like ensure that these communities are, for example, able to survive, to live. They have access to this energy. We have oil coming out, we have everything happening, and there's funds actually coming from this to fund the transitioning process and ensure that in the end we are using clean energy, clean cooking, and all that.
Absolutely. Okay, so Fanuel, I just want you to tell me, maybe you have some words, for the government, in terms of getting the young people involved in green energy, enhancing energy literacy amongst young Namibians. What is your advice to them, and what is your advice on young people, pertaining to energy and energy literacy as well in the country?
Yes, so I think my biggest message to the government and Ministry of Mines and Energy, for example, is to be an inclusive government, to sort of like have a youth agenda within the programs to ensure that whatever happens and whatever goes on, they are able to accommodate young people and to hear what young people are saying, and to also provide young people with opportunities to upskill and to have access to the sector. Come up with youth-friendly policies, for example, to ensure that young people are also able to tap into these markets, they are able to access jobs, and then to also have a very strong emphasis when it comes to local content. What we don't want at the end of the day is this different companies coming in and getting our resources without actually us benefiting as a country, because in the end it's going to be us as Namibia. Once they have gotten what they have needed, they'll be out. So I think there needs to be strong emphasis on when it comes to local content, just to ensure that these companies or these multinationals are able to play their part in ensuring that local communities are able to benefit from these resources. My message to young people, as always, is we are at the phase where there's a lot unfolding, and the best that you could do right now is to find your way through and to go for something. Upskill yourself, prepare for yourself, research and understand what is happening. There is innovation happening, and there is a lot that we can do as young people to ensure that we are able to partake and participate in this sector. Not to say that everyone should be aiming to own an oil block, for example. There's so many ways in which we can participate. For example, through entrepreneurial space, you are able to come up with a business that is able to provide support services to these companies when they come set up. Those are the kind of initiatives that we young Namibians should look into. Upskilling yourself. Don't just stay home complaining, and all that. So you gotta do something.
Sorry, a small technical glitch. We are still in the studio of Fanuel. So we discussed right now the Namibia Youth Energy Forum. Fanuel gave us a comprehensive outlook of what the forum is all about. It's about networking. It's about upping your skills and looking for opportunities. Business opportunities, entrepreneurial opportunities, especially for you as a young person. And it's also about urging the government to do more in terms of enhancing energy literacy, because I think energy literacy is needed at this moment. How many young people are actually conscious of their energy usage and of sustainable energy uses, or conservative energy usage in the country per se, and how many young people and to what level are they intimately connected with the current talks on climate change, and the need to transition to greener energy.
I think when it comes to those topics, it's very saddening to know the statistics. That many young people out there don't have access to any of this information and the knowledge.
True.
Especially if you look into the rural sides of the country, and if you look into other parts like in the southern and the northern, for example, there is lack of access to information when it comes to these topics, and that is one of the biggest problem that we are trying to find a solution to as the Namibia Youth Energy Forum, by partnering up with various stakeholders to ensure that we are able to have this information and take it out there to young people in order for them to understand Namibia's energy landscape, for example, and all things related to climate change and clean energy and all that. And we are hopeful that we would at least be able to engage as many young people as we can, just to ensure that we are able to provide them with that necessary information in order to understand what is happening in the country.
Wow, interesting. Fanuel, where can people on social medias, where can people find Namibia Youth Energy Forum, and what are the contact details that people can contact?
Yeah, so we are available on most of all the social media platforms. We're on Instagram, we are on Twitter, we are on LinkedIn, and then we also have a website which is NamibiaYouthEnergyForum.com. So you just type in Namibia Youth Forum, Namibia Youth Energy Forum anywhere, and then you'll be able to get a hold of us. You can also send us an email, admin@NamibiaYouthEnergyForum.com, and all our contact details are also available on all our social media platforms, so you can give us a call or you can send us an email, and we'll be happy to chat and see how we can partner.
Awesome. Now, if you're listening to this and you're a young person, look at other young people doing the change that needs to be made, contributing to society, taking part in society and making a significant change. That was Fanuel Shinedima live here on UNAM Radio on the Activated Talks podcast, discussing the Namibia Youth Energy Forum, a new forum which is focusing on the current energy talks that are brewing in the country and possible opportunities for young people to get involved in the Namibian energy sector. Now, if you're interested in getting involved with the Namibia Youth Energy Forum, the contact details were just stipulated, including the social media pages were just stipulated. So do make sure to go and visit those and do what needs to be done. Other than that, I'm Martin Nafuka in these Activated Talks. Thank you.